Hey everyone, how's it going today? Coach Alvarez here, back at you another episode, Coffee with Coach. Hope you're up doing well, got the mind in the right place. If not, as always, let's put it in the right place on this Monday morning. So, kicking off Monday on a good note. Weather is much nicer, starting the week off right. So, hopefully it's nice out where you're at as well. Obviously, because the last week was pretty tough. So, getting this week off started like it's supposed to. I wanted to share with you guys, go right into a follow-up from what I shared the other day. I think it was Saturday. The Becoming Unstoppable featuring Tia Claire Toomey. All right. So if you don't know who Tia Claire Toomey is, I introduced her in the video 2 days ago. So I think it was episode 311. But this is on the Andy Frisella YouTube channel. All right. So if you don't know who Andy Frisella is, check him out. Again, he goes pretty hardcore with some of the things he says. I like it. It's my style. I just change it up when I come to these things here. So this is actually episode 99 on their channel. But again, the title is Becoming Unstoppable, featuring Tia Claire Toomey. She is a 4-time and the current CrossFit Games champion, absolute beast. And this video, this interview is an hour and 23 minutes long. So I've been listening to this thing over and over and over again because there's so many good things in this video that I can't share them all at once. So one of the things that I wanted to share that I'm listening to that captured my attention was the addiction. All right, the addiction. What is that? What does she mean? I totally relate to this. Like, I really like this interview because so many things in this interview I can just relate to on all levels, man. So the addiction, so what it is she's talking about how she got into CrossFit to kind of help her track, all right? She wanted to use that fitness that she was going to get from CrossFit for her track. And so she came across CrossFit around 19, 20 years old, she said. And it was just a way to just, like I said, just get in better shape for her track. Then she realized that her track days were coming to an end. And so college was the next step, I guess. And so, you know, going through those steps, through those motions, she's talking about how it wasn't that fulfilling for her, you know, and something was missing. And she's talking about what really got me was she says, I wasn't the person that my parents raised me to be. And I wasn't the person I knew I could be. All right, let me repeat that. She says, there was something missing, and I wasn't the person my parents raised me to be, and I wasn't the person I knew I could be. And so there's a huge void there, right? There's something majorly wrong and missing. And so when she came across CrossFit, it wasn't something that she was really trying to get into. Again, it was something that she was just trying to do to help something else. And through that process, okay, she started to evolve and change as a person. She talks about how, you know, these little challenges that she was dealing with, along with improved health, there was so many benefits from this CrossFit that she was doing, that she started to just become that person that she knew she could be, and the person that her parents raised her to be, by doing what? By constantly learning. She was talking about learning all these different, you know, just snatches and whatever, you know, all the different exercises in CrossFit. All right, there's a bunch of them, and so through that process, she's evolving, she's learning, she's being humbled, she's facing challenges, and she's talking about facing adversity. And through this process of continual, like, learning and struggling and dealing with tough things and tough workouts, she became, you know, she started to become this person that she knew she could be inside. And again, like she said, her parents, you know, raised her to be. She said it became an addiction, all right? It became an addiction of getting better and improving. And the reason why I can relate to this is because that's basically what jiu-jitsu has done for me for all these years. It's why I'm still doing it, you know, well into over 20 years. You know, it's just something that I've just every day, like, I have to do in some way, you know, shape or fashion, like to do it, is because of the challenges that it brings. It's tough. And like she's talking about, and I'll get into this later in a different episode, how tough the workouts are, and how, and sometimes, she doesn't really enjoy it, but she just knows that it has to get done, and it needs to be done because that's where the growth is at. And it's the same thing with jiu-jitsu. It's tough. It's a lot of fun. It's a great workout. You get to meet a lot of, great people. You get to build great relationships with individuals on the mat. But the biggest thing is the challenges that you face growing as a person, evolving as a person. Me personally, I feel like I've evolved and got better as a person because of jiu-jitsu. One of the first things that comes to mind is respect. I don't feel like I was a very disrespectful person by any means before jiu-jitsu, but I definitely became a more respectful person because of jiu-jitsu through the process throughout the years, more humble because of just, putting on a gi and tying your belt, bowing on and off the mat, and doing the things that we do day in and day out. Respect is just the number one thing. But the challenges that jiu-jitsu brings is very similar to what she's talking about because I'm always learning. I'm always dealing with some type of struggle, some type of thing that's giving me a hard time. And through that process, what's happening? I'm getting better. I'm learning. I'm evolving. It's just something that, like she said, becomes addictive. And if you train jiu-jitsu, you know exactly what I'm talking about. It's just something that you think about on the way home, on the way to work, at work, at home, with wherever you're at. You're always thinking about it in some way because of just the way it stimulates your mind and your body and everything else and what it does for you. It's such a challenge. If you do something else like a CrossFit or like jiu-jitsu or something that is tough, that is hard, that is that is going to give you that kind of frustration, for a lot of us, for a lot of individuals, it's addicting because why? It's problem solving. You're constantly trying to solve this problem that you're dealing with. Or in some cases I've seen, some people just really can't deal with that. It's too hard for them mentally, more than it is physically, and they quit, okay? Because it's both. I feel like it's definitely more of a mental challenge than it is physical. You definitely got to, use your body in certain ways, and it's tough physically where you're sore and you're dealing with, that kind of thing. But I feel like it's more of a mental soreness than it is a physical soreness because of the frustrations that it brings. But on the other side of that, and through that process of that, you're becoming a stronger person, okay? Like mentally tough because of the things that you're dealing with, and also obviously physically tough because it's a physical thing that you're doing. And then through that process, you become like more confident. Your self-esteem builds up. You understand that you're just constantly evolving as a person and learning. It's addictive. It's a healthy addiction. Like, I don't know how many people I've heard say that about jiu-jitsu, how healthy of an addiction it is, to the point where sometimes you're doing it too much because you're not spending enough time with your family like you were before. Like, it's definitely like this balance that you got to find, because you start to want to do it too much in a way where it's pulling away, taking away from the other things that you should be doing, and whatever that is. But that's why, because of the fact that that you are getting better as a person inside, developing. You just like, man, I wasn't doing this before. And like Tia explains, like, just for some people, not all, just college really wasn't doing that for her. She needed something to give her that physical challenge and mental challenge, and that's what it was. CrossFit was that. And now, throughout this process and through these years, she's 28 years old, and she started when she was 20. So again, she's a 4-time CrossFit champion. She's a current champion. She was in the Olympics, and now she's doing bobsledding. I don't know, someone reached out to her and wanted for her to do bobsledding. So it's just one of those things where she's like, it's a new challenge for me. I got to learn new fundamentals. I got to learn new things, and I'm just constantly want to just learn. And I think that's huge. So if that's you, okay, because I'll go into this on another episode, but they're talking about people that talk about, oh yeah, when I was in high school, I won the state championship. I scored 17 touchdowns. Like, and in this video, Andy Frisella's like, dude, no one wants to hear that. What are you doing now? What are you doing right now? And so you need to find something, if that's you out there, that's not, if you're just not being the person that you know you can be, or the person that you know your parents raised you to be, you need to get up and find something that's going to, you know, help you be that person that you know that you can be, and the person that your parents raised you to be. Whether it's CrossFit, whether it's jiu-jitsu, whatever it is, okay, whatever it is, find something to get into that's going to give you a physical and, more importantly to me, a mental challenge, to where it frustrates you to the point where you're just having to constantly just get better and evolve and deal with hardships and adversities and challenges. Again, that's jiu-jitsu all day. Like, it's just, it goes hand in hand. Like, this is exactly the things why I'm still doing it, even though it's mentally frustrating and it's tough sometimes, where you think that, you know, all these years of jiu-jitsu, and there's just days where you just think your jiu-jitsu sucks because the individual in front of you is just giving you a hard time. You have to figure out a way to figure that out, and how to you know, overcome that. So again, the addiction of improving, the addiction of evolving, the addiction of feeling better about yourself, the addiction of being the person that you know that you can be. Okay, so are you doing that today? Are you or have you been doing that? And if you haven't been doing that, then you can easily start to make those changes today, with Monday being a new week, a new day. You know, get to moving, get to doing something that's going to help you be that person, because a lot of us still have a lot of things left in us that we haven't done yet, and we need to be doing. So, and the thing is once you start this, it just never stops. And that's another thing I'll share in another video. I talked about it before. Like, there's no retirement. There is no retirement. Like, again, you don't want to be that person that's sharing war stories from your college football days or basketball days or wrestling days. Like, I didn't want to be that person. Yeah, back in high school, and I'm like, you know, 30 pounds heavier and out of shape, and, you know, sitting on the couch eating cookies and drinking, you know, Cokes or something. And now I want to tell all my friends about back in the day when I used to be this person. How about I be that person now? How about I be that person today and tomorrow, and for the rest of my life? I'm going to be that person that is getting after it and making stuff happen. So, man, I got to share this stuff because it's just one of those things. These are the things that gets me fired up and that keeps me moving. Again, I'm walking around the house all day doing the things that I'm doing, listening to this stuff. And so I know it's helping me. I enjoy listening to other people's stories and how they got to where they're at today, and where their mindset's at and where they're going. And so I'm sure there's a lot of you out there that are listening to this. That's why you're hopping on, because you want to hear stuff like this so that it can jumpstart your day and jumpstart something for you and get you going in that direction to where you're becoming that person that you know you should be and that you can be and that your parents raised you to be. I mean, just absolute fire, man. Like, I love it. The addiction, all right? The addiction of getting better, all right? Get that. You know, we all have addictions of some sort. How about we have a healthy addiction of improving every single day and never stop trying to get better, all right? I'll leave it there. You guys have a great day, and we'll catch you guys on the next one. I'll share some more stuff from this. Again, if you want to catch this, if you're just hopping on, go to Andy Frisella YouTube channel. It's Becoming Unstoppable with Tia Claire Toomey. All right, CrossFit champion. Really great interview. Her mindset and the way she talks is just absolute fire. And she talks, I'll just leave it like that. I'll let you listen to it. Go, you got to hear her, how the way she talks. I love it. All right, guys, have a great day. We'll see you.